Hey everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to change the oil in your typical small engine dirt bike, lawnmower. It's going to apply to a bunch of different things. Today is going to be model specific to a 2006 Crf450r made by Honda. This guide will be good for years 04 to 08 of the Crf450r, but will be an overall guide of how to do any small engine repair oil change. So first we're going to want to locate our drain plugs. On this model, our engine oil drain is located right here at the bottom of our crankcase, and our transmission oil drain is located, it's back here, it's kind of hard to see, but right back there. And then right here we have our engine oil fill, and on the other side of the case we have our transmission oil fill, which is this guy right here. The next thing you want to do is find out what socket sizes you're going to need to remove the drain plugs on whatever model small engine you're working on. In this case, it happens to be a 12mm socket to remove the transmission oil drain plug, a 10mm socket to remove the oil drain plug, and an 8mm socket to remove the oil filter housing. To remove these, we're going to use a 3/8 ratchet with a small 3-inch extension. You'll next need to look up what kind of oil needs to go into this small engine. In this case, this dirt bike prefers a mix of 1030 motor oil to go on the engine side of things, and 1040 to go on the transmission side of things. It's typical to find in the small engines in any transmission engine system that a heavier weight oil will be preferred in the transmission over the engine. We'll want to make sure that we add the correct amounts of oil, and to do so we'll use a ratio right, like this. We'll also want to make sure that we minimize spilling and messes, so we're going to use a funnel, like so, some rags, a cardboard just to make sure any excess spills don't end up on the floor, and a drain pan are always a good idea. So the next thing you want to do is warm up whatever small engine you're working on to allow the oil to drain freely and faster, and to make sure that it's ready to go whenever you pull out the drain plugs. So we're going to start this thing up and let it sit and idle for a minute or two just to get all the oil up to the right temp and so that it can drain out fast. And warmed up, I'm going to remove both the engine oil drain plug and the transmission oil drain plug, and just to save some time for you viewers watching, I'm going to do this off camera. Now that the oil's been fully drained, we're ready to install our drain plugs again. So I'm going to put the engine drain plug in, and followed by the transmission oil drain plug. I'll do this off camera again just to save some time in the video. Alright everyone, so now that we have our drain plugs installed again, we're going to remove our oil filter housing on this thing. Typically these are externally mounted oil filters, but this one happens to be internally mounted. So I'm going to do this off camera again just to save some time. It's one special thing to note though, with these internally housed oil filters, there's typically a spring on the back side that will make you want to loosen one bolt just a little bit, followed by the other bolt just a little bit. You don't want to ever take one bolt completely out, followed by the other bolt completely out. You want to do these incrementally so that this cap comes off pretty much at this level all the way out. Alright everyone, so now that we have our oil filter housing and oil filter removed, I'm going to show you how to put this together. It's kind of a little bit confusing for maybe first time users, so we're going to do this one live just to make sure that everyone gets this installed correctly. So the first thing you want to do is grab your new oil filter and locate the seal located in the back of it. You're going to mate this up with your oil filter housing cap, like so. Next thing you want to do is install the spring in the pre-drilled slot in your oil filter. And we're going to install this entire assembly into our housing, like so. We're going to fasten this to our case using the fasteners here. And again, while we go in with this, we're going to want to make sure that we don't tighten one side all the way down with the other one all the way loosened up. We're going to do this incrementally so that the spring and everything seats in there just right. You'll want to look up the torque specs as you tighten this. Typically they're about 8 foot-pounds on this size bolt. And that's how you install an internal cartridge oil filter. Alright everyone, so now we have our funnel installed into our engine oil location side. And I have 700 cc's, which is a specified amount for this engine oil side in this small engine. We're using the 1030 as was previously specified in the video, and I'm going to add this oil into our engine, and I'm just going to do this offline to save some time. Alright everyone, so now we're going to be adding in our transmission oil side. You can see we have our funnel in place and we have our 700 cc's of oil ready to add again. This time we're using 1040 weighted oil as was specified earlier in the video. And once again, we're just going to do this off camera just to save some time. Alright everyone, so now that we have our engine oil added and our transmission oil added, you want to check the levels on both. The engine oil did a pretty good job on this model of making it easy to check. You can tell by looking at our sight glass here that we are at the correct level. And then you can come around to check your transmission oil side. On this model, it's a little bit harder to do, so we're not going to do it online because also it's kind of a rare way of checking oil. But on this model specific, you can remove this bolt right here while the bike is level, and you should just have a little bit of oil seeping out, and that's how you're supposed to check the level on the transmission side. Alright everyone, so now that we've checked our oil levels again, we're ready to start the motor. We're going to let it run for a little bit, and then we're going to recheck our oil levels just to make sure we're at the correct location. So just to save some time again, I'm going to start this thing off camera, and then we'll go back and make sure our oil levels are good. Alright, so we gave this thing a minute or two of runtime after we added our oils just to recheck our level. You can see in the sight glass it's kind of hard to see, but in person it's easier to tell. But we have good oil level, so now we have successfully completed an oil change in our small engine here, specifically a 2006 Crf450r.